What is up, Adrian? Bro, it is always a pleasure to see you
How
guys.
you doing, man? Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Adrian Rashad Driscoll. Every time I see him, he's always got something creative and innovative, and today is no different. So tell me a little bit about this project. You've only given me just a sliver, but I know people are waiting to hear what this is all about.
So what we're doing, this is a project with the EAST program. EAST is like environmental and spatial technology. So what we're doing is we're teaching children with autism how to interact in everyday life through the medium of VR.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy, mind-blowing. No, why is VR like the medium to choose in terms of this project instead of like your 2D, where you have like maybe a web series, a TV show, or something interactive in that form instead of VR?
No, right. So I've always been an advocate of education in virtual reality. Yep. It's more of an immersive experience. Nobody wants to read a book, It's just like, and I mean, I like reading books, but I'm an old nerd. But like, nobody wants to, sit there and read a book, especially children. So when you put them in an environment that is virtual reality, it's so immersive and it's so convincing that it has a higher retention rate. So that's why I believe that if you can practice these environments for these kids, they'll actually retain it and be able to apply it to their everyday lives.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so this is with the EAST program. Now, what is it exactly, and how are you with them? What's your attachment to that?
So I met James Hopper, and I met James Hopper at SVVR, which is a VR convention. I met him earlier this year, and he was telling me about these programs they had, and I was like, what? And I was like, I didn't expect to be blown away like I was,
Okay.
So then him and Jessica Dunham, they brought me out to Arkansas to kind of explain virtual reality to the teachers and how they can implement it into their classes. So I'm teaching these courses, and then they're like, hey, you gotta meet Alicia Bell, and I'm like, okay, who's Alicia Bell? And Alicia told me about this project, with the autism, and I was like, what? You guys are what?
Right.
I was like, one more time? So Alicia brought me on, and eventually Driscoll Entertainment ended up partnering with them, to kind of bring our tools together to make a great project. And now I'm, on the advisory board,
Get out of town. Are you serious?
I'm on the EAST advisory board. Thank you. There's only been 16 people ever. I'm number 16. But no, it's one of those things. It's like all these other beautiful opportunities are unfolding, to be able to help people, and that's kind of where I stand. I'm just a small part of something big.
Definitely. No, I mean, there's some people that are not familiar with VR. So why do you think VR is not like a passing fad, like your music players, things like that?
Right.
Things continually evolve. Why is VR something that is going to stay here for a while?
No, I've done so many experiences in VR, and I still, my mind still convinces me that they're real. Even if it's animated, even I know if I was watching on a TV screen that it's not real, I believe in my mind, that it's real. And VR gives you that immersion quality. In addition, it gives you an empathic quality that you can't see. Because like if you're watching TV and a Feed the Children ad comes on, you're gonna say, okay, that's sad, but you're still looking at your couch, and your cat's running around, and your kids are doing this, and you have all these distractions. What virtual reality does is it gets rid of the distractions, and it's just you're there in the environment. It's like, wow, this really sucks, man. They need help, man. And then your heart starts feeling like, hey, okay, now I have empathy.
Right.
So it's not sympathy anymore. It's not I feel bad for them. Now it's I feel like them. And that's what's going to impact a lot of people. In this, that's why it's such a better medium to use than your traditional 2D.
Definitely. And so it sounds like from your experiences, just you talking about empathy, that you've had like some kind of empathetic experience in VR. Like how did you get involved in VR in the first place? How did that all come about?
So it's funny. My friend Cassie told me about a brand ambassador gig.
Okay.
With this company Oculus, and I'm like, what's Oculus,
Right.
And I put on this headset when I got the gig. I put on this headset, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, and it's like this 360 world. And I think the first thing I saw was Henry, and it was like this hedgehog, and it's like, man, I feel bad for this little cartoon hedgehog.
Right.
Wait, why do I feel this connection?
Right.
That I wouldn't feel this connection with watching cartoons. I watched Aladdin a million times and Jungle Book, and
Right.
and it's like, why don't I feel these same connections? And I really noticed the difference. So then, after years and years of just studying and seeing what else made sense, now I'm a VR expert, which just means I'm a nerd, but it's fine. And I study it. I mean, it's literally changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like getting into something like this, VR, brand ambassador world, you obviously had some kind of higher form of education, correct? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
not at all. No. I mean, I took maybe a year of community college doing theater,
Okay.
and then I moved out here on my tax check. I had $1,400, and I want to say $1 in a dream for lack of better cliches, But I opened my production company out of necessity. I was like, hey, I'm a great theater actor, and Hollywood's like, I don't care, you've been in a play, like show, like where's the film? And I didn't have any film, and nobody would cast me, so I had to open my own production company. Then people were like, hey, I like you now. Hey, can we hire you for this? And short story long, Driscoll Entertainment was born. And then VR was just that next level to say, hey, I can actually touch more people, through this medium than I can through traditional film. I can be a pioneer, and the people that I'm working with can be pioneers to show new ways to invoke feeling, which is all film is about.
Right, definitely. I mean, that's an amazing story. I mean, in LA, it's hard. It is very difficult for those who aren't here. It's very tricky.
Yes.
Waters to traverse.
Yeah.
But with Driscoll Entertainment, what other projects have you guys been able to do that can really show off, like, hey, we can do this project and we can do it right, we can do it justice, and make sure that it's able to impact the people that we're trying to do? Tell us more about Plate of Hope.
So when I first moved out here, I did a lot of background work, a lot, and I actually got to see, how a lot of people, shot these movies. But at lunch, I was watching catering, and I saw them fill up the buffet after lunch was over. I'm like, well, what are you guys gonna do with the food? They're like, we're gonna throw it away. And I'm like, well, why don't you give it to homeless people?
Right.
And they're like, well, a homeless person got sick some years back and sued a production set, so they don't do that anymore. Like, we used to always give it away, but now, they don't do that anymore. So I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy. You're wasting all this food. Yeah. So me and my team, some people that were very like-minded, and wanted to really help out. My DP Mike, Gene, who does my sound, like, we got together and we started shooting, different elements. I can't forget Ahmed and Jesse, and it's just random people, like this guy, his name is Testament, and I swear he's not real. I swear to God, like, he can't be real. Like, I think he's like a ghost, but he always pops up at our events. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm
testify.
Like, I'm off track, but like, we so we decided to do Plate of Hope, which basically we deliver food, or we set up pickup for food from the movie set. We provide the packaging, and then we arrange the transport to the churches and the homeless shelters, so they can do it. So the movie set loses their liability, then we lose our liability once it actually arrives at the church. But people still get to enjoy and utilize this food that would otherwise just be wasted.
That's amazing. And how many movie sets would you say that you guys are currently coordinating with to facilitate this process?
Oh man, I don't even know. Right now we're working with Union Rescue Mission, which is like the second biggest rescue mission in LA. But a lot of people are getting fed from it. And it's man, it's a crazy feeling.
Right. That's awesome. That really is. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
And so you got Plate of Hope, and that of course isn't VR related. That's more like the physical. You're really making sure that people are getting fed.
Right.
You're helping the movie sets be able to make an importance in someone's life. But
right.
What about VR projects? How many VR projects have you guys done, and what was the kind of message with those? Is it still like that social good, or was it something a little different?
I mean, we have a lot of projects working on. You know, I'm a filmmaker first. You know, so I have a project like Gloves. You know, a boxing movie we're working on with an amazing director, Alton Glass. You know, and we have an Aleppo project. You know, and that's more of a social good. But it's also cinematic. You know, I wrote a script for it, and it's like, but it's still so immersive, and it has that empathic feel, you know.
Right.
But then on social, just on a pure social, we also have Project Soul Swap, where basically you put on a pair of shoes of a different scenario, you know, and like you're living the life of a homeless person, you know.
Oh, wow.
Because so many people think that, oh, you're homeless, you must just be a drug addict,
right? Or
you must just be lazy, or you must be this, and there are people who are victim of circumstance. And I'm not saying that we can't get out of those circumstances, but at the same time, we can't just judge people and assume that it's their fault.
Right.
You know?
No, for sure. And by the way, did you come up with that name? Because that name's fantastic.
I did not.
The double entendre.
I did not. That is actually from the East program, and they came up with that. But it is a really good name.
That's amazing. Are there any other projects that you're working with East besides this particular one?
I mean, East has so many projects in their pipeline, you know. They bring me out for different ones here and again.
Okay.
But I mean, as far as the ones I have liberty to speak about,
right,
you know,
yeah.
That's about it.
Okay. And then what about for Driscoll Entertainment? Do you guys have anything that's on the pipeline that you can talk about?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm working on my second book, Breaking In Without Breaking Down.
Okay.
Which is basically an actor's guide on how to do Hollywood without going crazy. I won't say I'm not crazy, but without going crazier. But you know, then we have some TV shows we're working on. You know, Everyday Villains is one of them. You know, and we have I Told You So. You know, which is the first book I wrote, and it's like my baby, my feature that I'm scared to finish. But you know, we have a lot of things that are in the pipeline that we're just trying to, you know, knock out as fast as possible. Not as fast as possible, but as much as we can.
Right.
Yeah.
Top quality, but
of course.
getting them out there.
Well, Mike won't let me not do top quality. I'm
right,
like, Mike,
right.
it's good. He's like, no, we're doing it again. Like, Mike, we're doing it again. So I can't argue with that.
Hey, it's always great to have someone there. So, and then for people that are interested in learning more about the projects and about you yourself, where can they go? Is there a website? What's the best path for them?
So for the East Project, you're going to go to eastinitiative.org. That's going to be like where you're going to find the most information. As far as Driscoll Entertainment and, you know, some of the projects we're partnering with, driscollentertainment.com for sure. Okay. And then, of course, you want to go to my Instagram at Driscoll, Driscool, and then you'll see a lot of stuff about me too. So
perfect. All right. So, guys, if you want to know more about the information in terms of the Autism Project, which is fantastic, go to eastinitiative.org, and then to learn more about my guy right here, Adrian Rashad Driscoll.
Adrian Rashad Driscoll.
Adrian Rashad Driscoll.
We'll get there.
Go to driscollentertainment.com. Thanks so much, guys, and have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you guys next time. Adrian, always
appreciate you, man.